Oh, hey, we should be live. I am live. It's just me covering up the Gak logo. Jesus. Bloody Nora, it's what it's all about. Right. You can see me. I've definitely not been rushing to get this setup going. I've definitely not got messy hair, which is why I look like a prat with this hat on, but I don't really care. Right. Welcome all to the first ever live Gak Podcast. Live from my house. And it's a solo Gak. It's the first solo Gak. First live Gak, first solo Gak. I've been messing about. I've been playing about. And you can see all the socials below me. This is where you'll find anything to do with Gak, basically. Along with here on Twitch. We're also on the Instagram, Gak Podcast. We're also on Twitter, Gak_podcast. Maybe some of you have found this through Twitter because Streamlabs, OBS, whatever it's called, it lets me post a tweet with a link to the website, this video even. Website. We ain't got a website. We've got a YouTube channel though. So check out Gak Podcast on YouTube. Just search. Type it in. GAKPODCAST. And we should come up. We've not got many subscribers, but we should come up. Also on Facebook, but I'm not done much on Facebook yet because I'm not a big fan of Facebook. But I know Facebook's big, so I do intend on messing about with Facebook at some point. Look, we're on Twitch, but like I'm live on Twitch now, so kind of defeats the purpose of scanning that code behind me. That's for when if this is going to go up on YouTube. This is Gak 7, I believe. No, it's not Gak 7. This is Gak Football. So this is Gak Football number 2. We did one Gak Football quite a while ago when we still had Josh, me, Arthur, and Josh, and we were doing the Messi and Ronaldo debate. That was a good while ago. So check out the YouTube video if you want to see what we had to say about Messi and Ronaldo. It was actually pretty good. But I really want to do this. Arthur was unavailable, which is unfortunate. But in a way fortunate because it gives me an opportunity to do this live. I like the idea and the challenge of doing this live. So, and I know Arthur isn't keen on going live just yet because he's worried he's going to say the wrong thing. So, I basically wanted to get a football podcast, football chat from Gak out of the way before the new season, the new Premier League season, which starts on Friday. I want to do little predictions and stuff. So we're just going to get straight into it. First of all, I'm going to go into, hopefully this works. I'm still messing. So we'll get this up and we'll get that up. I'll see if it works now because I've got the stream here as well. There we go. Super professional. That's how I'm rolling. So, last week, I set up a Gak Super League, a Gak Fantasy League, because everyone loves FPL. All the lads love a bit of FPL. I'm terrible when it comes to FPL, basically. I'm terrible for many reasons. Mainly because I'm such a stubborn Man United fan that I will never put Liverpool players in my team. Which is stupid at the minute, I know, but stubbornness just takes over me. And I'll hardly put City players. I might put... At the end of the day, City don't bother me. City are a plastic club. I'm sorry, City fans, if there are any. Might be looking for a while for them. But, yeah, so I like to try and find players that, could be the diamond in the rough in the season, get those cheaper ones. And so, shock horror, you ain't going to find Mo Salah in my team. But then I like to think if majority of people have Mo Salah, if you can find that someone who's getting, obviously no one's catching up to Salah points-wise, but, there could be that season where he had not a stinker, but he had a poor season about 2 or 3 years ago, didn't he? But I think he still got stupid points. But basically, I'm just trying to justify why I don't pick Liverpool players. And it's stupid, but it's just stubbornness at the end of the day. So I basically just wanted to start off by thanking everyone for joining the Fantasy League. It just started off as just a random idea. We'll get a Gak Super League going on. And then I decided to add a prize. So let me come off me for a second. Off the screen, that'll show me. Because this is what it's all about. It's all about this ugly mug. So I added a top prize of a football shirt of the winner's choosing, basically. So whoever wins the Fantasy Premier League will win a shirt of their choice from this season. So obviously whoever you support, the home kit, the away kit, the smart pink third kit, or whatever everyone's doing these days. So that's the top prize. So you can still enter. It would be very handy if I'd have got this ready and put it up on the thing, but if you just give me a sec, I may have a code. A code would be very handy. A code to... That's Discord. No, I don't have it. Well, that's daft, isn't it? Can I find the... I know what I can do. So if I go to invite people to join the league, that's the code. So if I just quickly get the code. So you're still able to join, join in on the Fantasy League. I'll get the code up here somehow if I know how to use this program. And then if you've not entered it, you can just jump in. So league code. So the top prize is a football jersey of the winner's choosing. And oh look, it's showing up a little bit there. Handy dandy. Get it nice and big there. Fantasy League code. There we go. So stick this in your Fantasy Premier League app to join the Gak Super League, and you could win the top prize of a Premier League shirt of your choice, of the winner's choosing. Is it? I'll put it up here. I don't think Metallica will mind if I sort of cover the vinyl a little bit. That's fine. There we go. So the league code is up there now. Should be. It is. I can see it on the stream. Is my spelling good? My spelling is top notch. It normally is. Okay. So to go with the top prize, if you are absolutely useless at Fantasy League, which I could very well be, I normally get super frustrated at a certain point and I just give up. But this sort of gives people hopefully a bit of a kick to not give up, because there is a booby prize, which I'm still working on, but whoever comes dead last will receive a booby prize. So we'll sort all this out. Ideally, I'd like for you to follow us on Instagram, which is down there. If you can follow us on Instagram before you join the league, or once you join the league, follow us on Instagram. And then we can DM you details when it comes to if you win, if you lose, how you're going to get the prize, whether it be the good winning prize or the booby prize. So yeah, that's that. Join in on the league, whether you're watching this live now or on YouTube, post recording. You've got until Friday. What is it? Friday the 5th of August. That's when the season starts. It may as well be the deadline, because if you join late, there's not much hope of you if you're already a few points behind. The chances of you winning then are quite slim. Especially when all the Salah lovers and the Trent lovers and Alisson and Kevin De Bruyne, when all those people are racking up points. That's that. Could be game over, could be curtains. Right, so let's go. I'm gonna thank everyone. I'm gonna shout out all the names that's joined so far. Maybe we won't go through all the teams. If your team's worthy of being shouted out, I will. So let's go back on here. So that's the league code. Right, so here we are. Everyone who's joined the league so far, there's quite a number. Me, Liam Bolton, I'm at the top, baby. Man's the top bloke. So big shout outs to Peter Seymour, Patrick Smith, Joe Eglin, Cameron Hayes, Fergus Stokes, Dion Edwards, If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. That's an unfortunate name. Parents probably didn't like you very much. Chris Webb, Adam Williams, Harry Lewis, Lewis, Chelsea Downing, Terry Briggs, George Walters, Muhammad Patel, Ryan Gibbons, Fogs SFC. You've got a football name for a name, that's pretty gangster. Robert Jones, James Palmer, Ibrahim Jr. and Ibrahim Khan. Ooh, is that father and son? Ooh. Max Lawton, Kendrick Balls, Liam Harper, Cameron Quigley. That's a cool surname. Connor Gillen? Connor Gillen. We'll go with that. Tega Prabowo. Whoa, that's a cool name. Keon Jones, Scott Wiles, Kieran Jones, Marina Alexander, Zach Cohen, Arthur Thomas, Gak co-worker, William Sprinkle, Jack Roworth, Owen Jones, David Stedman, Daniel Liley. 2 L's makes me think Liley. Tom Wynn, Oshan Gadsby, Corey Jarvis, S. Jaruk Pingir Jalan, Tristan Griffiths, Samraj Singh, Tom Parker, Kyle Parry, Luke Jordan, Cari Rowlands, and Sean Sullivan. So we've got quite a few that have joined the league, and I can't thank everyone enough. You must really want that shirt. Or the booby prize. Maybe everyone's interested in the booby prize. So thank you everyone for joining. And make sure you tell all your friends. Get everyone involved. I know adding more people lessens your chance of winning, but at least the more competition, the more interesting it can get towards the end of the season. So the more the merrier, as they say. So, and I may as well show off my team. There may not be any point in you guys seeing my team, because I know I'm going to get pelters for it. I'm very obviously a Man United fan, but like I say, I've got no Liverpool players. I'm going to cop it for that. And I've got a couple of United players. I'm probably going to cop it for that. But the only way I'm really going to cop it is when they don't perform in the season. And the thing is, I've changed this. I've not gone probably 2 hours since I made this team last week. When did I make? Yeah, last week at some point. Excuse me. I've probably not gone 2 hours without making a change, because I just cannot decide who I want and where I want them. And yeah, I'm still not settled with this. I mean, when I go offline in a bit, I'm going to the pictures to watch Thor. No spoilers. I'm going to watch Thor after. But on the way to the pictures, I'm probably going to be on my phone. I'm the passenger, not driving and sorting the fantasy league out. I'm not that desperate to do fantasy league. But I know in that journey, I'm going to either think of someone, or I'm just going to have a little nosy at my team again, and I'm going to change it. It's what I do. I think it's what a lot of us do. And I'm still not completely settled on captain. I've sort of gone the easy route of, well, I'll start with the team. So in goal, this is my starting lineup for week 1 for now. So I've got Mendy in goal. I've changed the goalkeeper a lot. I'm not 100% confident. I like Mendy as a goalie, but I don't think he offers much more when you've got Alisson and Ederson, who are known to get the odd assist from a hoof forward, and then they've got the quality up top to finish off their passes and stuff. Whereas Chelsea don't tend to get many goals like that, I don't think. I've gone a bit of a gamble putting Malacia, Man United's new boy. He played well. I've been playing football with my dad this morning, so I've been speaking to my dad, and he watched our pre-season game yesterday. We lost. Ooh, shock horror. But we played well. This is what my dad said. I didn't watch it. I was working. We played well. And Malacia stood out, apparently. So, providing he gets starts, he might do well for us. He could do well for us. I think Matty Cash is a fairly safe option for getting you maybe an assist every now and then. I'm not sold on Villa getting clean sheets. That's my main issue I've got with my defence at the minute. I don't think it's got many clean sheets. I did have Cancelo in there, but he's so expensive. It meant that I couldn't get certain other players. So, yeah, Matty Cash. I've gone for Janssen at Brentford because he got a lot of points last season. Don't know much about the guy, but he got a lot of points last season and he's quite cheap. So that's basically why I've picked him. And we'll go to the bench. I've got Cucurella, who's awesome. to be fair to him. And that could help. That could be a good move if he signs for City as well, because City are just going to keep quite a few clean sheets this season, aren't they? It's going to happen. Them and Liverpool. That's the thing. I'm probably going to end up with another City player at the back, because you're just going to get clean sheet points, aren't you? I mean, I've had Ederson in goal as well, but then I got Perisic as well, which he's probably going to play as a wing back under Conte at Spurs. So yeah, he's fairly cheap as well. He's cheapish. It's just whether he gets a lot of game time because of his age and that, and whether he copes with the Premier League is the main thing. Because I do like Perisic. We were linked with him quite often the last few years. I think when Jose was our manager, and that would have probably been a good time for him to come to the Premier League. Whereas now, is he mid-30s now or reaching mid-30s? So you just don't know what you're going to get out of him. He's it's hard to judge what he's going to do, because I did have Jed Spence that Spurs have also signed. I liked him from Nottingham Forest. Signed from Nottingham Forest. I don't like how you can it's just completely covering me up. I want everyone to see my ugly face. So yeah, it's just hard to say with Jed Spence whether he's going to get a lot of game time. I think he was a bit cheaper than Perisic as well, so I don't know. I think he was a whole mil cheaper. I think he was only 4.5. So I think he could be a good shout if he gets a bit of game time. Then obviously Heung-min Son, midfield. He's the second most expensive player with Kevin De Bruyne, only behind Salah, I think. Son's just awesome. I love Son. I think he's only going to get better for the next few years. I think he needs to make a move away from Spurs at some point. I think, everyone laughs at me, but no, I'm going to save what I'm about to say for after FPL talk. But yeah, Son, awesome. Mason Mount, I like Mason Mount, but I feel like there's a lot of games where he seems to go missing, but he always seems to get a lot of points in fantasy league, so that's kind of why I picked him. Odegaard, the same. He's quite cheap. He's Arsenal's captain now, I believe. And there's a reason I've picked him. Bruno Guimaraes. I've heard a lot of good things about the guy and he's dirt cheap. That's why I've picked him. I've risked with another United player. As a United fan, I can't help myself. Christian Erickson, who came on as a sub yesterday for us and apparently stood out like a sore thumb. Should have got 2 assists, but our finishers can't finish. That's just the story of Man United. And then up top, I've got Harry Kane's been there from the start. I think it is like a toss-up of whether you go for Kane or Haaland. I'm Kane all day long. I still think Kane's a bit overrated, to be honest. But he is really good. I just don't think he's as good as... He ain't no Wayne Rooney in Wayne Rooney's prime, put it that way. That's my argument, sort of. But I do like Harry Kane. I think he's a lot more of a provider than... Not that he's a lot more, but I think he's got that side of the game that a lot of people don't think about. They just think about Kane for his goals, but he is actually one of the best passers of the ball, and I think that's why him and Son work really well. So I think it's daft not to have both of them in. I think you have either both of them or none of them, because they're going to work off each other well all season. And then Jesus up front, he's scoring goals for fun in pre-season. I know it's only pre-season, but you got to give the lad a chance, and that's kind of why I've gone for Odegaard as well. And it's why I'm sort of tempted to get rid of Erickson, because I think points from Erickson is going to be based on whether the people ahead of him will finish what he provides for them. I've got faith in players like Sancho maybe doing something, but then I probably may as well try and get Sancho in as opposed to having Erickson, because you're going to get assists from Sancho as well. But with Erickson, you do get set pieces. So yeah, it's difficult. This game's tough. It's trying to pick the right players for the right game weeks and stuff. And then backup goalie Nick Pope. I might even start with Nick Pope because he's got Nottingham Forest at home, and Newcastle probably should beat Forest. But then you don't know the promoted teams. They can get sneaky results early on, can't they? It happens sometimes. And I've gone for City's Alvarez as a backup option for a striker because he's quite cheap. They big him up a lot. Right, I need to come off this now. It's just been a whole stream of that. Yeah, they've bigged up Alvarez a lot. They were doing it last night in the Community Shield, and I sort of, because I was watching it on my own, so I was like saying in my head, like, because all they were going on about was Haaland. Haaland is this, Haaland is that. Haaland was trash. I'm going to be completely honest, Haaland was trash. He looked like another Lukaku to me. No first touch, just a big lump up front. And City don't play that way. So they're either he's got to adapt to City style or City have to adapt to his style. And whether that happens or not, we don't know. He's obviously going to get goals for City. You know, with the amount of talent they've got in the team, it's difficult not to. By law of averages, you know, some of those chances are going to go in. But I think that Alvarez, especially with 5 subs coming in this season, that Alvarez is going to get his chances, whether he's on with Haaland or replacing Haaland at the end of games. I think he's a sneaky little option. It could be a good one. Could be a few points from him. Might even get starts every now and then, because that's the one problem with picking players, Pep Guardiola players. You never know who's going to play, because I've had them all. I've had a lot of them in there, because like I was even tempted to put Bernardo Silva in the team because he gets a lot of points every year. But then there's a lot of rumours with him going to Barcelona. Yet another player signed by bankrupt Barcelona. they're crapping money out from somewhere. They're not paying their existing players. So yeah, that's basically just what my team currently looks like. Obviously, we can't see each other's teams. If we had people in the chat, you know, you could have chimed in with some of your top choices, your sneaky tips or whatever. Obviously, like, I kind of don't get the point of it, like showing off who you think is going to do well, because you want to kind of keep that information to yourself, really, don't you? But I feel like as sort of the host of this show and the don behind Gak Super League, I kind of need to show off, this is what I'm sort of going with, but like, take it with a pinch of salt, because that team will change a minimum 20 times before the season starts on Friday. So that's that. That's FPL talk. I'll leave the code up there. Let me just put it on that side, because there you go. We're down a bit. So now I thought it'd just be interesting to do like we'll do a little predictions thing. I don't want the thing next to my phone next to my mic. It goes loopy. So while I'm looking for the league fixtures and stuff, please make sure, check us out on all the socials. They're right under us. Social media, Instagram, Gak Podcast. We are at Gak Podcast. Twitter is Gak_podcast. Search for us on YouTube. We should have all the links in this Twitch chat anyway, in my Twitch profile. And then we've got Facebook. There ain't much going up on there, but eventually I'll sort it out. And we've also got this Discord. Ooshed. So Discord is basically, like, for those that don't know, it's sort of like, you know, like the old forums back in the day, where you go on internet forums and you get to talk about the stuff you like talking about and you meet loads of people. That's basically what Discord is, but it's a handy little tool if you're playing games with someone and you want to, you know, party up on voice chat. It's a good tool for doing that as well. So we've got a Gak Podcast one, and it's just a little space where you can come and chat to us. Mainly me. And you can just talk movies, TV shows, music, football, video games, and stuff like that. And it's, you know, it's just somewhere you can just hang out and get to know more about me, more about Arth. And usually whenever I'm doing something related to designing logos, designing templates for these shows, which I just do often because I'm never settled. I always design one and I'm like, I like that for a little bit. And then I end up changing it all the time. So like this, I've spent the last couple of days making the design here and here. Kind of hoped someone would chat, but we ain't got anyone involved. I didn't think it would be a super popular show to start off with, but I'm still growing. I'm still trying to grow the audience. But hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there one day. And then hopefully with this Fantasy Premier League thing, that'll come in handy too. So now we'll just go quickly. Premier League fixtures. I'm not going to dwell on them too long. I'm just going to say who I think will win. and it'll be interesting to look back on next week. We should have Arth back next week. He said he's free next Sunday. We're probably going to sort of stick with Gak football for the time being, since Premier League is restarting. Our FPL thing has become for us, it's become very popular. So we're gonna strike while the iron's hot and just keep going with this football theme we got going on. But probably at the end of each show, we'll just talk a little bit about whatever we've been watching. Because I've just watched the Resident Evil Netflix series, and I really want to talk about that because that was surprisingly good. And I'm just going to leave it on. I felt like the last episode of the Resident Evil Netflix series, which everyone should watch, the whole series, the last episode, I found more engaging and exciting than the last episode of the last series of Stranger Things. That was just my personal opinion. I just felt more invested and engaged in that final episode of Resident Evil. So yeah, that we'll talk more about that in future, hopefully. Not that Art's gonna watch Resident Evil, but I can still mention it. Right, so Premier League is starting next Friday. We have the first game. It is Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. I am very tempted. As much as I've picked a couple of Arsenal players, I would not be surprised if Crystal Palace walked home with the win. I think Crystal Palace looked really bloody good last season. And with a whole year, was it last year Vieira started or was it the year before? But with another year, if so, under Patrick Vieira, and they've still got their main star players, I believe. Zaha's still there for now, links to Roma, I believe. But they've got that Etsy as well. I think that Etsy is a really good player and is also a shout for the Fantasy Premier League. Probably a good cheap option. I wouldn't be surprised if they won. But I'm seeing a draw. So I'm going to say Crystal Palace Arsenal Game 1 Premier League 22-23 season is a draw. Not a bore draw though. There'll be goals. Right, so on Saturday at dinner time we've got Fulham versus Liverpool. Of course, that's going to be a cushy Liverpool win. Next, AFC Bournemouth against Aston Villa. I don't know what Bournemouth are like. They've just been promoted, haven't they? Have they done a Nottingham Forest and have they bought a whole team? I know Villa are away, but I can see a Villa win. They've got a good little squad going on there. Steven Gerrard's building himself a decent little team, so... I've got a couple of Villa players. I've definitely got one Villa player. One? I've got Matty Cash. So I'm going to say Matty Cash is going to keep me a clean sheet, get an assist. Villa win. Leeds United versus Wolverhampton. Sod Leeds United. Wolverhampton are winning. Leeds United are going to get relegated this season, hopefully. Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go for a solid Newcastle United win. Maybe like a 1 or a 2-0. Nothing spectacular, but they'll get the job done. Tottenham Hotspur versus Southampton. Could be a very tasty game second day of the season. Game week 1. I have to go for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not really sure what Southampton are like. Southampton are sort of that low-end mid-table team again, aren't they? So I can only see a Spurs win there, to be honest. Everton versus Chelsea. Kind of have to favour Chelsea. I don't think Everton have massively strengthened this window. They've lost Richarlison, which, could arguably be strengthening the team. They've signed James Tarkowski. I think that's a decent signing for Everton. And Dwight McNeil as well. They've got him from Burnley too. Can't believe no one snapped up Cornet from Burnley. I think Cornet's a really good player. Chelsea win. Chelsea win all day long. And then Sunday we have Leicester City versus Brentford. How are Leicester doing these days? There was talks of James Maddison potentially going to Newcastle, or a bid coming in for James Maddison, which I think would be a bit of a shock, to be honest. A bit of a shock. But gotta say, I think that's a draw, Brentford lost their best player, Christian Erickson. But Brentford, even before Erickson, they are still a decent outfit. They're still a good little team. I think he was a big part of them doing quite well end of the season, I think it was a massive part of them doing quite well. But I can see maybe a slow start from Leicester, and we'll go for a draw. Man United against Brighton and Hove Albion. I have to back my team, don't I? I've got to back the new manager. And we'll... Jadon Sancho back in the team. Hopefully Martial up front. I kind of want Ronaldo out the team now. Ronaldo's being a bit disrespectful. But that's a whole other subject. Hopefully Erickson starts. Martinez starts. Malacia starts. Good for my fantasy team if he starts, hopefully. I'll go for a United win. Definitely not comfortable. 1-0, 2-1. And then West Ham United against Manchester City. Manchester City did not impress me one bit yesterday. So I am going to say... Oh, should I be that guy that says West Ham will beat Man City? They could do. West Ham did. They played some good games last season. That Jared Bowen really showed what he's made of, to be fair to him. Hopefully he picks it up, keeps going, because I do like Bowen. Need him for the England squad as well. England in the World Cup in Qatar, which we don't stand a chance in, to be honest. We don't stand a chance in. No sort of cold climate country is ever going to win in Dubai. It's whoever can withstand the heat is going to win in Dubai. England won't win. But I would like to see certain players like Jared Bowen and, you know, the youngsters getting a chance, to be honest. I think it'd be a good experience for them. I think that's that, isn't it? Unless there's a Monday night football. There isn't. So that's game week 1. Those are my sort of quick predictions. And I did think about saying who I think will, you know, like win the league, win the FA Cup. But I'll probably save that for next week. If we've got Arth back next week, I will tell him, because I know he's not watching this, he's working. I will tell him we will predict the Premier League winner, FA Cup winner, League Cup winner, Champions League winner, Europa League winner. We'll just do a lot of predictions and stuff like that next week. So we'll do FPL roundup of the... Well, we'll have like an idea of, you know, who's got some early points. If we'll record this on Sunday again. I may have to beg him to let us do it live, or I don't say anything. But then something bad could come out of his mouth and it could get us banned for life. Yeah, we'll do an FPL roundup of Friday and Saturday. We'll see how everyone's looking, and we'll do some predictions. Who's going to win the lot? He's going to just say Liverpool, 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 Liverpool. And I'm definitely not going to say Man United for anyone. But yeah, so that's that. That's Gak football of the first Gak football of the new season. Doing it live. So until then, until next week, thank you for watching. Please make sure you follow us on all the socials down below. Follow us on Twitch. That's Gak FM. Ooshed. That one, wrong side. Save that for another show. Yeah, so get following. I'll do more playing some games throughout the week when I get the chance. I should get new work hours very soon, so I'll be able to get a proper schedule for Twitch going at some point. But yeah, until then, thank you for watching, whether it is live or on the YouTube, because this will go straight up on YouTube, so everyone can see it. And yeah, until then, thank you for watching. I shall see you all very soon. Do the Fantasy League on Discord. Thanks, guys. Bye. Can tell it's my first time doing this.